buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, buzz, buzz, babies. Happy Wednesday. Happy new comic book day. Hope you spent lots of money and supported a bunch of cool indie comics people. If you buy big too, that's cool. We all love them, but the indie people need some love. And we got some cool indie people that we're going to talk to tonight and bring out and talk about some cool, not only comics are we, well, I mean, come on. We talk about comics for like 5 minutes every Wednesday to be fair, but we're not just talking about comics time. We got a cool campaign. It was so cool. Like, I think it's rad. I'm stoked to talk about it. It's stylish, it's sexy, it's sleek. We'll bring them out. First though, we got to do this little thing real quick. Welcome to Omega City, where superheroes are publicly funded and saving the day means big sponsorships and bigger payouts. The city's great champion, its hero is a raging egomaniac who cares about nothing but himself and his precious Q score. But when he loses his powers to 10-year-old fanboy hero, he's forced to reconcile with all his past selfish deeds. Heroes will fall, heroes will rise, and the world will never be the same. From Keen Spot Publishing, writer Jeff McClellan and artist Michael Gecko Adams comes the premiere of Hero, and it's in shops now. Your local shop may still be able to get you a copy, so see if they can order it because it's a very cool book, or you can head over to keenspotshop.com, snag a copy there. It's fun for all nerds of all ages, and you should check it out. It's really funny. I'm stoked to see what they do with it, and if you want to keep track of the amazing artist behind it, Michael Gecko Adams, you go to geckoadams.com, sign up for his Substack, check him out. He's really cool. All right. Hey guys, let's do some comics. Let's get ready to bring some people out. Our first guest is wait, hold on, I gotta get this. Let's get queued up. All right, our first guest is an outstanding writer responsible for some epic comics like Beckstar, Dahlia in the Dark, The Never-Ending Party, and King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. He's here to talk about a spicy new horror one-shot that's live on Kickstarter. Let's get him out here, Mr. Joe Corallo, baby! What's up, sir?
Hello. What's up is being here right now with you and the fine folks in the chat here.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you, bud. It's been a while. I'm very excited to chat. The last time you were on, we talked about King Arthur, which is an all ages comic.
Yes,
and this time we're talking about a not so all ages comic.
For sure. We talked a bit about disc golf too, which I still have not played.
I haven't either. Don't worry.
Quite frankly, I've forgotten the rules. So maybe we should spend the first 20 minutes actually going over. I think I need a refresher on disc golf.
If comic book burrito once you're a comic book burrito member, you're always a burrito member. But if Cole is out there, he's also Cole Talks Books on YouTube now. I believe he's relaunched his channel. But if you're out there and you want to come in and talk disc golf, I'm sure our people in the green room are like, no, I'm just kidding.
It's Cole Talks Comics or Cole Talks Books? Or
he's Cole Talks. He's Cole Talks Books now, I believe. He's switching it up a little. Yeah, he reads comics.
Fancy.
He likes the new TMNT comics, but he's on a novel kick, and he's got me reading prose too. But before we get. We're already sidetracked, my goodness. But before we get double sidetracked, six triple sidetracked, that's a new thing. That's my new show coming out, six triple sidetrack with Blake. You can't even say it. Anyway, we got a couple more people. Why is it so hard, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. All right, last but never least, I've got the hardworking nerds of Laguna Studios. We've got the hardworking nerds of Laguna Studios. When they're not fulfilling all your favorite Kickstarters, they're trying to make sure you read your comics in the sexiest way possible. They're here to tell us how to upgrade the drip. It's Laurie Foster and Eric Lewis. Oh my goodness.
Your intros are so good.
They're so clusterfucky. What are you talking about?
No, they're amazing. And now I don't know anything about disc golf, and I don't want to like reroute everything, but now I want to know.
We want to know about disc golf. I still don't remember. I wasn't even drunk the last time I interviewed Joe, but I don't remember how we got talking about disc golf, but it swept the conversation. I
felt so bad too, because we're talking about it, and then like Cole comes in and he's like, "Oh, it's so nice seeing you guys." Wait, what? Yeah, and that was just terrible. He's in the chat.
Speaking of the devil, his ears are ringing. He's not talking. Oh, and see, now he's another thing we're all passionate about around these parts is hot dogs. We love to scarf them down. And you know what? Ever since the government and Big Health or whoever came up with the lie and said that, hot dogs, every hot dog takes like 7 minutes off your life, it made them taste better. Oh, even more delicious now. I can't. Oh, I just love them. Love hot dogs. Anyway, hey Cole. We were just talking about you and disc golf. Hope you're doing well. Also, shout out to John Westhoff, who's in the chat. Also John's got a cool Kickstarter live right now. I can't think of the name of it. It's about werewolves. Drumsticks of Doom. He's not on my show, so I'm not an asshole. I'm still a good host. It's fine. He's not a guest. But Drumsticks of Doom is out. You guys check that out. Anyway, hi everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? How are my wonderful, beautiful, super talented guests doing? I'm so stoked to have you. By the way, I work for Laurie and Eric now, so they're probably going to be regulars on the show. And if you don't like that, feel free to sponsor me.
So if they sponsor you enough, then you get rid of us.
Yeah,
how that works.
Once the tiers are met, Laurie can't come on the show anymore. She's the absolute worst. No, I'm kidding. Are you guys? Are you wearing one of the jackets we're here to talk about tonight?
I am.
Yes.
Yes. Let me see if I can get up without making it weird.
Pretty convenient.
Nice. And so these are like, we'll bring up the page, but they have these really cool, and you've done like a series of hoodies before, but these are track jackets.
Yeah, these
inspired
are track jackets. I did hoodies. I did Hoodieverse and the X series as well. We're just branching off into extended universe of things that have crossed the X series and whatnot. So just people are just shooting out ideas now. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Okay, sure. Yeah, you don't think I can do it? I'll do it.
Yeah, we released a Baxter today.
I saw. Yeah, it's fucking sick. Oh my god,
I want Marvel to just buy that design from me. Be like, this is what they should be wearing right now.
Are you the one? Did you design these?
Yeah, I do all of them. Yeah.
Oh fuck, I want to be talented. Hold on, real quick. I know I said we'd go, but like the classic Cyclops. Oh my god, these are so good. The classic Wolverine. There it is. There's the new Baxter with the 4. Oh my goodness. Man,
so if you look at it, there's actually 4 4s in the design to represent each member. So then it zips up and makes the big one.
Aren't you sneaky? Wow.
I'm very proud of that one. And I didn't even know it. Like, Laurie was like, you should do one. I was like, okay. And I did it in the workday. Just doing it.
You just figured it out.
That's so cool. Like, I can make some stuff, as both of us recently found out. Like, I never did it. But, like, I couldn't. That's insane. Like, designing clothes, that's another. Joe, have you done any of that? I know you're really a writer, and you've done some editing and loose production stuff. Have you ever done any clothes design?
I have not done clothes design. No, that wasn't really an area I was thinking of going into. I like that people do it because I like to wear nice clothing. So
it's not. Yeah, it's nice. We're not walking around wearing like sticks and leaves. We've surpassed that.
This is going in a bad.
I'm dabbling next in shoes. So
ooh.
Yeah, I'm looking at to see how sneakers are made and see what I can do there. So
there's a big deal for that. Like a lot of the custom sneaker shit is so ridiculous, but they have like those sneakers that look like they come in trading card packs and they're like wrapped in foil.
Crazy.
You don't know.
So I'm like, what can I do? Like
yeah.
Yeah, and the idea with this was kind of to come up with designs that don't just look like you're wearing the costume. They're just inspired by the character, and I think that he does an incredible job pulling that off.
Yeah. How long? Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at this Baxter this Baxter deal. How long? You said this took you like a day, like a couple hours, like you got like
3 hours or so, just for the whole thing,
Wow.
Like.
I think he's like a prodigy with this stuff. He doesn't believe me, but
no, they're very cool. And the old set was dope too, like the hoodies and stuff. I like these because you get a little bit more time with these, right? Like it can be a little warm outside. You can still wear them.
Yeah, it's a nice like mid to light jacket. It's not too heavy, so it's like Laurie's wearing it now, and it's like 75 in here, but
yeah,
it's perfect for her.
It would probably, I'm not sure, Joe Cole, maybe you can chime in here. I'm thinking they might be good for like disc golfing. You know, like maybe it's a little chilly, a little rainy. Do they repel water or anything? Do they have superpowers? What kind of material? Like,
they look really cool, and they're very well put together, very, very high quality.
I don't think they're waterproof.
No, not waterproof.
No.
Okay.
But
are they cloth or are they like you know what I'm talking about? Like the kind of slick material that like goes whoosh, whoosh, whoosh when you walk?
No.
That's a windbreaker.
It's not.
Yeah, okay.
It's like I don't know if I can I don't know if that helps. But what does it feel like? It's like a polyester blend.
Okay. And what about like, is there a smell? Is there like I'm just kidding. We don't have to go.
No.
It smells great. Yeah.
These are important questions.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so forever ago, when I was irresponsible with student loan money, I bought a Tempur-Pedic mattress and like Tempur-Pedic pillows and stuff. And they don't tell you in the commercials, right? They're just like, you can jump on the bed with wine and nothing spills, and every night, dude, they smell like weird fucking rubber medical things for like a month, and it takes a while to like go away anyway. But so you guys don't have that problem with these jackets. That's good. And I'm pretty sure if you get Joe's books, whether on Kickstarter or in the direct market, they don't smell weird either. They just look and smell and read like comic books. 95% certain.
Like we received a box of books that I opened it up and it smelled like farts.
Wow. That was the first for us.
I'm not going to say whose, client confidentiality, but I opened it up and it was like, oh, these are nice looking hardbacks. And then it like hit me. And then I felt like, that the trash barge noise, that just came through my head. But it's never, you open it up usually and it's like fresh cut books. You smell the ink, you smell the leather. No, I got fucking assaulted by that cloud. It was just methane. And it was really strange.
So Joe's books don't smell like that.
They don't. They don't. You know whose other also book smell is Marvel omnibuses. I still think you could get high reading them. Yeah. I might have been high while reading them, and that's why I thought it. I don't know. We can talk about that later. But they have like a very strong paint smell. And I remember like my dad, when I was younger, my dad was a maintenance man at my school. And like he would like make me help him in the summer, and it sucked. But they're like it would be hot and we'd like be painting and stuff. I guess, this is many years ago, but they're like the paint fumes and stuff. And we'd get kind of dizzy and stuff. And my dad would be like, oh, you guys should probably go outside, but that's what Marvel omnibuses smell like. Now you buy a brand new Marvel book, you tear the plastic off, you sit down to read it. It smells like my childhood and slave labor. Anyway, Joe, what's up with this book? You let me read the first 5 pages of this. It's called Sink to the Top. And I'm really... This feels really cool. It feels really dark and weird, and like I'm getting like some like Vanilla Sky vibes, right? It's like everybody, you think sex parties and you get excited, right? And you want to be a part of it, and you want to be invited, right? But you're showing us that like, nah, man, you might not want to be invited all the time.
Yeah, like the orgy in the early It's Always Sunny episodes.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I know I did a great job pitching this book, but give me your con table pitch to get us in the audience excited about it.
Sure. Well, it's a 24-page queer comic thriller one shot. It's one and done. You're getting a full story with this, with artist Chase Bluestone. We've collaborated a couple of times before. Most recently in Young Men in Love, New Romance, we did an 8-page story. Boys Will Be Toys in that, which was like a gay Toy Story kind of thing, with like characters being like, how do you know he also likes toys from the boys aisle and things like that. And it was great. We actually got some good press coverage, including a shout out in the New York Times for that particular story. So we're really happy about that. And then, Chase and I have been wanting to do this for a little while. Being a one shot and being a mature content sort of story. It's not easy to pitch around. So after a while, we were like, we're just gonna go straight to the source, go to crowdfunding for this, because this is just a story we're very passionate about, that we're not terribly interested in watering down because of the mature content. Like we don't want to try to take it to a publisher and then have to deal with cutting off the point at the knees. So while I think there are a lot of stories that work really well that way, but like, so the page you're seeing there, for example, I was really inspired by particularly Frank Miller's Ronin. I think arguably the best layouts he's ever done. And I reread Ronin, and I had Chase read Ronin, as well as a bunch of Bronze Age issues of Tomb of Dracula by Gene Colan to kind of get that feel for the book. And I think Chase is really nailing it. In particular, on that page, the guy, nose down on the phone, that's a very David Lynch kind of shot that I really wanted to put in. I always, I'll think of David Lynch with those kind of shots, and I was like, let me get that in there too. So there's some David Lynch in there. Like there's really a lot going on in the 24 pages. It gets a bit surreal while still kind of being grounded, kind of like a lot of David Lynch's work, like especially earlier on in Twin Peaks and things like that. It's like there's not really an overt supernatural thing going on. It's just kind of really weird. So, really wanted to highlight that. And yeah, Chase does it all. He did the logo. He did both covers. He's doing all the interiors, including the colors, all the lettering. And because I don't have my own like web store or anything like this, that's also a great opportunity. If you get a physical reward, the add-ons include a bunch of the books I've already worked on. If you want a copy, like Beckstar, Dahlia in the Dark, The Never-Ending Party, King Arthur's Volumes 1 and 2, the DC Pride, A Celebration of Rachel Pollack, are all there. We've already gone through half the physical commissions, 5 out of the 10. Which is great. There's also in the add-ons a sketch of William, our main character, on there as well. It's just the one, so hope someone snags that too, because it's obviously a one-of-a-kind thing. But yeah, it's an important story to us. It really has a punch to it. We're very proud of it, and we hope people check it out.
Blake, you're muted.
I am muted. It was cool because when I started talking, I had like a bunch of like phlegm in my throat, so I was like, "I love," and I had like clearing my throat anyway. So that was fun. Good on me for being good at my soundboard. But no, I love the blend of like the blend of sex and horror. It always does. It always does so well. And I also like how you're keeping, like, you were like, we could have taken this to publishers, because the pages I've seen are beautiful. The pages, that crazy layout that we just spent a while talking about, that even Sarah Landauer commented on, is one of the coolest pages I've seen in a hot minute. Your artist is phenomenal. The colors look great and everything. So like, I'm really excited. And I love that you're like, we're taking this to Kickstarter because no one's going to edit us. No one's going to tone us down. So like, it's got me thinking, like, what the fuck are you guys doing in these 25 pages, right? Because like, I feel like it's I mean, we already know it's at a sex party when there's somebody dies and there's something, I feel like that's a very like tip of the iceberg kind of scenario, right? Like I feel like there's a lot of underwater stuff that's happening. I don't know, man. I know I like the way you tell stories, and this is very intriguing and exciting, and it feels like, I get like the raunchiness and the risque of it, it's like it's there's an excitement to it. Is it weird, like, because your last book at a publisher, right, is like all ages, and so like while you're working on that, you're also like doing this, and I mean, like, are you like, is that weird to kind of like juggle, like Laurie, because you guys do this too, you guys. You've only recently, in the last like a couple years, maybe, I could be wrong, but you've kind of just began exploring the not safe for work comic territory too, right? And But is it weird like bouncing around, Joe? Like going from like King Arthur to Sex Party, or is that the next book? I don't know.
No, I mean, there's just all sorts of stuff I want to do. You know, all sorts of stories that I want to tell, and you know, there's stuff I've been working on or worked on that's you know more grounded. Like there's stuff that's more historical. There's stuff that's um you know so yeah not everything I do it's for different you know sort of people. I'm not trying to do the same thing you know over and over again. You know I've done some you know I did you know my first big two thing last year, so like I mean I've been doing some more stuff on the graphic like direct to graphic novel scene. um you know, prior to King Arthur, I did stuff that was more mature at Mad Cave. So I mean, even within the same publisher, I've done stuff with different ratings. So you know, for me, it's just like, yeah, like just if you like it, great. If you're not gonna like that, you'll probably like something else I do. I mean, because like the Never Ending Party was also pretty like it's not it doesn't quite hit the same level of risque as this story does, but it really pushes it.
Yeah.
You know, so which I'm really proud of. I co-wrote it with Rachel Pollack. It's the last comics work she did before she passed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I still have copies available. So like, yeah, you can get that as an add-on for this campaign as well. But yeah, I just want to tell, you know, all sorts of things. And like, I don't really buy into that. Like, oh, well, you can only like, what is the point of being creative and wanting to pursue a creative career if I'm putting myself in my own box when no one asked me to, you know?
That's a great point. I had
Yeah.
a quick question because I do love the Never Ending Party, and I was a
Thank
big fan of Rachel's, and I was so like the
Mhm.
DC thing was awesome, and like I know you two got you got pretty close working together. You kind of mentioned
Yeah.
I was wondering, and if you can't talk, if and I love comicsology, so like I don't want to like
Mhm.
put any shade around any, but like
Sure.
you mentioned like how like you didn't want a publisher to like not necessarily censor you, but didn't want you to tone it down, right? And
Yeah.
you know, you guys did kind of push boundaries in the
Yeah.
Never Ending Party. Were you like told like to back off of some elements of that when that was going around?
You know what? We weren't, but we were also writing knowing
Okay.
certain parameters like going into it. You know, like we knew if the story got picked up, there were certain things we're like, okay, well, we kind of know. So like we weren't you know, going for that. Whereas you know, here we're just like, you know, we're just gonna go for it, you know. You know, and that's not to say like it's because the story calls for certain things. And I wanted to make sure I was being honest to this particular story and how this kind of has to go, um, which was important to me. And there are different kinds of, you know, not safe for work or mature comics in the crowdfunding community. And you know, no shade to different, you know, like there's clearly an audience for all sorts of comics that fall into that. You know, this is going specifically for the story. That's why you know we only have two covers. You know, we're keeping the goal fairly low at 3,500. You know, to really just more or less cover you know the production of you know printing, shipping, and you know getting Chase some money and things like that. But
He deserves it. My goodness.
yeah, no,
So good. The
absolutely.
art is so good. How Laurie, I spinning off this not safe for work topic. When you guys at Laguna decided to start doing this, what prompted you to go in that direction? Because it always fascinates me because at my old job, when I wasn't like ever ashamed of it, and I will tell everybody now, like I made a lot of money on not safe for work covers. That was like a huge part of my day-to-day job, like proofing those and making sure the trade dresses and print file. Anyway, blah blah blah. But like, yeah, I never thought that would be like my job in comics, right? I never thought I'd be like going through Kickstarters, making sure like nipples were covered up on Kickstarter pages and shit, right? So but like but it happened, and there's a bar, and now there I did notice, right? There's the cheesecakey books that are selling for horn dogs, and then there are not safe for work titles that have real stories, but also like real themes and sexual themes and themes of like identity and things. Laurie, I feel like Laguna does a lot of stories like what Joe's doing here. Like you guys are like, we want to tell stories. It has to make sense for the story. But like, what prompted you to finally be like, okay, like let's go in this direction?
I guess a couple of things. One was that we were fulfilling some not safe for work books, and I was like, I feel like I have some really good ideas that I want to put out there, and all these people are doing this, and I feel like I have ideas that haven't been done in terms of comics, in terms of not safe for work comics. Also in terms of not safe for work comics written by women and or drawn by women that have kind of that. It's a little different. The porn for the female gaze is a little different than porn for the male gaze. And so that's kind of what we've been leaning on. For Heart Eater, which we write together, it's absolutely story first, and there has to be good action, but I wanted to have sex too, because like there's multiple webcomics and creators that I have watched online for a while who have like absolutely incredible porn, but the story is also incredible. And I was like, this is what I want to do if I make porn. I want it to be really good to read, even if the porn isn't in there.
Yeah.
And very action-y porn too, very dynamic, and you know, just not just like your normal just cheesy book, you know, like stuff like that. And then the action, I'm like, I want 90s, you know, top of the line, Joe Mad, like Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane action, those dynamics, just like the explosions. Like I want my characters dead. I want blood, guts. There's so much blood and violence in Heart Eater 2, like eyes flying out, limbs falling off.
But also porn.
But also awesome porn laid out as well. It's like the porn has its place, but it's works within the story. It's the story first. So it's like we write the story, and then it's like, okay, where can we just slip in the sex scene that makes sense?
Yeah.
And it just, when we do it, we write it so it makes fucking sense.
And like with Heart Eater, we tried to do kind of the more cheesecakey covers where we had 5 or 6 different variants that were naughty and nice. But it was very, like, I was not able to just do pinup poses. Like most of them, she's fighting, or she looks badass anyway, because I just couldn't help myself. So I don't know if that's still considered cheesecake anymore, but that's where we're at now.
Yeah, I kind of want on these next few issues to kind of go right, like I said earlier, back to the 90s and do kind of the red herring covers where it shows, you know, like, is this the end of Spider-Man? And it's like, is it? Like, it's not the fucking end of Spider-Man, you know? And it's just like, but the cover is like has Venom like tearing his head off, and it's just like a dream. Like I want like covers like old school like that, where it's like in Heart Eater, certain character is gonna be like underwater, being pulled into another dimension, and I want the character's hands to be here, but somehow it's reversed, so it's not actually drowning or being pulled away in that sense. So,
but it's a red herring. So,
but it's like, so it's like you're like, what is actually happening on here? And then we'll have the pinup and the ones, all the fun covers that everyone loves as well. But like, you know, the first cover has to be like, this is the series we want, and it's like just action adventure with no rating. It's not going to be XXX, you know what I mean? It's just not rated. It's just a fantasy adventure with humans, and humans like to fuck.
So I was thinking that's a good segue of humans like to fuck, but because like I was, especially with horror, right, Joe? Because you want good horror, you need to find that like universality, right? You want to you need to like get your audience to like feel these emotions, right? That's why horror, like great horror, makes us laugh too, right?
Mhm.
It confuses us and makes us feel these normal things. Does sex kind of do that? Does even if it's like sex party sex and orgy sex, maybe sex we're not necessarily
Sure.
accustomed to, but like we understand the mechanics of sex, right? We get how bodies work
Yeah.
most of the time, but does that kind of find like an anchor for the audience, like to kind of get them into the horror element even more, like by using sex, are you able to lure them into the trauma more efficiently?
Yeah. I mean, I think we could all agree that sex is terrifying. But but no, it's kind of like pivoting from the point a little bit, it's the vulnerability, right? It's the being in a situation where you're you are that vulnerable, you are that you're that at risk. You're really putting a lot, like if you're if you're literally naked in someone else's home that you do not know, like that's about as vulnerable, I think, as it gets.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing this out there now. I think that's something that people can sort of relate to. I think that's where you use that in like horror and stuff like that as well, that it feeds into. So I mean, we play on that a little bit, but this is also very psychological too. So, and it leans into the surreal. So we kind of like what starts with that kind of drifts into sort of a darker place. So yeah. Oh, was it Adam Freeman's also in the chat?
Yeah,
Hello, Adam Freeman.
my other boss, all my employers are here. Good God.
Yeah.
Oh God, I got sweating.
We're involved. Yes, there is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've talked about. I mean, Richard Fairgrave's been on the show like 3 times, so yeah. It does go, but no, yeah, it happens, especially just because I do want to, when you bring on indie comics, like I don't want to.
Mhm.
I'm not going to kink shame, right? Like I may not understand stuff, but I don't want to kink shame, but I don't want to, I think some of these books need a platform. I got it. If your book is a bunch of fucking AI covers with giant pepperoni nipples, I don't want you on my show, right? We don't need that. And there's a market for that. If your Kickstarter makes 55 grand, great, dude. Like go get it. But like, for the ones that these stories and these interesting stories with intimidating themes, like I encourage that in books and in Kickstarter. And yeah, I love, like, if I can help people get a voice out for their stories in that regard, like I'm all about it. Plus, like I live vicariously through these characters because my sex life is about as exciting as editing video. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't know if any of you have ever edited video before. It's not exciting. If you're excited by it, email me. I'll hire you. I can't do that. That's a joke. I can't hire anybody.
But yeah, no, but no, it's great seeing Adam in there though. He's been a big part of the comics landscape for years. So yeah, that's great. You're working with him.
Yeah, I'm working at Prana doing some social media stuff with them. It's very exciting. I'm also right now helping edit the Comic Industry Insiders podcast. You guys should all go to Prana, look them up, follow them. It's a cool show. It's okay. So it's fun. Like they talk about the retailer side, right? The retailing, comics numbers, stuff that you like as a, I'll say layperson, right? Even though like I work in the industry, right? But I'm not a numbers guy, and I never have been. But they make it interesting, and it's interesting to see like what these retailers do to engage. When they talk about shops, I never thought about how important like lighting would be to a comic book shop, right? But they are like, you got to like, and then like if you get real cool shelves, some of the shelves look cool, but they shadow the books, or they may cast a shadow, like because the book is like lays into the shelf and it may cast a shadow over the trade dress, and you don't want that. You want them to see Batman, and I was like, holy shit. So like it makes you think about the industry in way different ways. and they're very good at talking about it in a engaging way for consumers and retailers and professionals. So I would really encourage you guys to check that out. We got OC Steve coming in saying Eric's hair is majestic. Ride the wave. He does have the cool curl coming down.
I'm going for the Razor Ramon today.
Okay.
Fair.
Get the toothpick, man.
Oh.
Very fair.
And the tights. You gotta get the
Right.
tights. And the
Who said I didn't have the tights on? She would know.
I'm not telling.
Speaking of, speaking of tights, well, this is a weird segue to your butt pins for your campaign, but we'll get there. We're I love the I want to bring up the track jackets again. I wish this was, I wish you could like queue multiple screens. Hey, StreamYard, you should let us queue multiple screens to bring up. That'd be neat. Anyway.
I agree.
So, let's go to the page and let's real quick. Let's scroll through these. Let's scroll through the models again, because you all look so damn pretty and wonderful and handsome and glorious and whatever adjectives you all prefer. You look great in these. You got the gray sweatpants, but they're facing the wrong way. I don't know what the photographer was thinking, but whatever.
That was the model's choice. I was taking the photo.
That was out of our control.
Again, yeah, the Baxter, I can't get over that, and I still can't believe I missed the giant 4 right in the middle.
It's subtle.
Also,
How hard are
the
these to
Magneto
name?
makes an M when you zip it up, so it's kind of like a mixture of all his costumes.
Nice.
Who?
Are these hard to name?
Hard to name?
Yeah, like
That's
the
all
Kinetic
him. The
Gambler,
names are all
Badger,
him.
Oh yeah,
Southern Sugar.
yeah. I have a long list of legally safe names.
So I want to ask, you got the Biclops jacket here. So are you a believer in that everybody was fucking on the moon in the Krakoan saga? Is this a callback to that by chance? I'm pretty sure Cyclops.
I mean,
Cyclops and
we all
Wolverine
know
were
what
fucking,
did
and I
happen.
talked to Chris Claremont about it, and he got
We
mad.
know
at
what
me.
happened. Okay, it's like let's be real here, but just Biclops. It just sounds menacing, and it's just like a normal guy though. It's like everyone here's a Biclops.
Oh, because he's got 2 eyes. Okay. Well, he was also fucking Wolverine on the moon.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's both.
so yeah.
It works. It works on
It
multiple.
works,
levels.
It works on multiple levels. I love this. I love how like you look like these. It's like it looks like a comic pose. Like it looks like you guys posing for a cover. But all right, these are the butt pins. I love these butt pins. Where did these come in, and how did you guys think of this? Where did this? This is an intriguing product.
How did it start?
Well, everybody knows the Rogue's ass.
That's where it started. Was
Okay,
Rogue's
with
ass.
that meme, and I was like, okay, I'll make. I saw like an old tattoo design, like sailors, like a Sailor Jerry. It was a heart shaped butt, and I was like, oh, that's cute. And I was like, Rogue's butt. I started thinking of famous butts, I was like, Rogue's butt. And I was like, I'm going to do a Rogue's butt. And I just designed it. And I was like, this is pretty cool. I should do a Gambit ass because I'm a Gambit man. So then I made Gambit. And then I was like, okay, I like these. So I had the template and I just kept going and going. I would do like 2 or 3 in a night. And
Oh wow!
I just based them off of everybody. Like,
And the butts are hilarious because they've been very controversial. When we've run ads for butts, people get very angry. They get angry that the male butts are the same shape as the female butts, and their hearts too. They get mad that there aren't it was just everybody loved them, but also a lot of people were very mad about them for various reasons that made no sense at all. We were just keep commenting on them. You're just helping me make money. So be mad about it.
And then put that on my tombstone right there, what John said.
I'm a Gambit ass.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Yeah, it's like he has to wear the trench coat, otherwise the entire team will be fucking distracted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because otherwise they'll be running around in a goddamn crop
everyone
top.
will be
no
salivating.
one's gonna
and
get anything
thinking
done.
about chomping that cake. Like it just be a fucking mess. All right.
Joe, what
Like,
are your
imagine how Night of the
thoughts?
Sentinels would have gone if Gambit hadn't had the coat. They would be more than Morphin Beast that got captured. The entire team, boom, credits, end of series. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you said, "What would happen if Gambit didn't have the coke?"
Yeah.
I mean, that's a different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's we gotta get the Sentinels now.
I
Joe,
can't even imagine
what are
Gambit
your,
that kind of energy.
oh, I don't. Or could you imagine like Nightcrawler bouncing around all over the place? Like, oh my god. Anyway, Joe, do you have any? I see you got some action figures behind you, and the X-Men set
Oh,
behind
X-Men,
you.
yeah.
I don't even. Is that from like when we were kids?
Or
Yeah,
I was
it's
trying-
the same.
I was trying to
What?
determine if those were the 10-inch or those Marvel Legends back there. But those are
No,
like
that's like
10-inch
old Toys R Us
Those-
shit from when we
those
were
are- this-
kids.
That's the old school shit. That's the original. Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to
That's Toy
find
Biz,
you
yeah.
and rob you, sir. That's
Yeah.
what do you have? Do you have thoughts on Gambit's outfit and jacket? Like, I recently read, like, I was reading his his Prince of Thieves run, and he's like, he doesn't wear the trench coat a lot, and a lot of times he's in like a leotard because he's doing thievery stuff, and he's just in like tights and
Yeah,
like.
you're sexy when you're thieving, man. Come on.
Gambit's an interesting, like, for me personally, he's a character that I think a lot of people who have fondness for him, it's more from the animated series, because his run in the comics is very uneven, I think, compared to a lot of other characters. And he's kind of like, sometimes he's important, sometimes he's not doing anything for like a decade or so. I mean, when you start rattling off like the top 15, top 20, like all-time best like X-Men storylines, Gambit's barely in any of them. It's like he's a cool character. His costume, especially early on, like, not the best. Maybe a good color scheme, but the whole like the sleeve thing
Face
around
sock.
the neck,
Yeah, the head sock.
yeah, the
The
head
weird
sock
like
thing,
metal
like,
fence thing around his neck. Too.
yeah.
Like,
And I used to have years ago like the crappy toy with like the plastic
the plastic
like
jacket.
brown like jacket, all that, and like, yeah, like I liked Gambit. He was very quotable from the cartoon. I liked playing him in like the shitty Sega Genesis games
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But yeah, like he, comics wise, he could stand a handful of more really strong stories. I think, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his most center point was when he got changed into Death. Like, I think that was one of his biggest moments, and then he started off Days of Future Past because of the whole Bishop blaming him as the traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
but it's like
That's it?
his biggest storyline is, you know, what was it? I don't know. Wheezy and Walt did it better with, you know, Angel. Like that storyline. I mean, I think outside of the main X-Men line, you know, being like a spin-off book, that's probably the single most referenced, riffed on, and adapted storyline outside of the main books. Because I mean, that was the basis of, you know, they used elements for that in some of the movies. They used elements of that for, I mean, that was the storyline for X-Men Legends 2, was just that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they used a few different horsemen, but like that was the crux of it. So yeah, it's like it's hard to compete with that. I mean, even Wolverine's been Death, and it wasn't as good as,
Yeah, I remember that one.
Angel was
I think
Death,
everyone's
you know?
been Death.
Yeah.
Everyone's been Death. Everyone's been like part of the 12. Whatever.
Everyone's died and come back.
You know,
Like, Get some fresh blood, Marvel. No, I'm kidding. I love you. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'd love to be on your press list.
I
By the
have
way.
my
Just trying to-
copy of my fall the fall
Nice.
maintenance slate.
Yeah.
You know, and it's signed by quite a few people, including Peter David. Rest in peace, Peter David.
Whoa. That's cool.
But yeah, Claremont, the Simonsons, Bob Wycheck.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, that's
Yeah, thank
you're
you.
just a mutant nerd. Adam,
I
Adam
like
has
X-Men. What do I
No, it's
say?
good. They should. Everyone should. Adam says the more he thinks about it, Gambit might not be the hookup, but he knows the guy. So this is
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn this into a question for the crew here. Who has the plug on the who at the X Mansion are you being like if you need to take the edge off? If it was a hard day of lessening and danger rooming, and you need to take the edge off, who are you hunting down to find a little peace of mind at the mansion?
It depends. Do you want to heal and relax, or do you want to party and do that?
We're gonna chill. We had a long hard day. We're gonna chill. We're not gonna.
I'd find Hank
Oh yeah.
because
Nice.
Hank would have some awesome scientific way to just chill you the fuck out without anything, and you'd probably be all natural too,
Mhm, sure.
and it'd be safe. I would find Hank, and he'd be like, "Oh, it's for it's for healing, it's for rejuvenation." Yes. Now, if I wanted to party, yeah, we are going the Gambit, or we're going to go to Jubilee, because let's face it, Jubilee knows where the drugs are.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. See, I'd go. I think I go depending on sort of the universe. If we're doing like the animated series universe or whatever, probably Morph.
Ooh.
Okay.
Morph looks like
Yeah.
a party guy.
Morph would have some good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, even
so-
Krakoa and
so,
Morph, like Krakoa and Morph was
Yeah.
on one most of the time. Like they'd have some gnarly stuff. I feel like some of those plants growing on Krakoa, right? Like I feel like they had plenty of like good.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, they probably had like the best mushrooms. And then you probably just like wake up and feel great the next day. You're not even sleepy. Your jaw doesn't hurt from smiling. Not that I know about any of that. Anyway, but like, what about you, Laurie?
Yeah, I was gonna say Hank, and he stole it from me. So now I'm
Yeah.
trying to think of who I would. I don't know. I feel like that's the best choice, though.
You can agree. It's
Yeah.
It's allowed.
Or what if you need a mood elevation and you just go to one of the telepaths and be like, "Can you make me stop thinking about bad things?"
That's what I
you
was
just kind of
yeah.
like snip some of the wires in there, and you're like, "What was I mad about?"
Yeah.
That sounds
Like
good.
I was thinking about
Yeah.
going to the Cuckoos, right, and being like, cocktail me, like just send me off into the woods for 6 hours and then back, right? Either that or I feel like it would be Wolverine because he has his metabolism. I guess Deadpool would be, but he's not really at the mansion unless he snuck in. But like, and obviously, I guess Deadpool's like the known MCU cocaine connection now because that's all he talks about. He talks about cocaine more than I do on my show, which for a Disney Marvel entity is ridiculous. But anyway, but I feel like it'd be like Wolverine because if something fucked Wolverine up, what's it gonna do to you? Right? Like, no matter what he does, if he's like, oh, that got me, that's going to put you in your grave. Like it's so, but that would be but yeah, I feel like the Cuckoos would be, because they're younger. They probably wouldn't judge you. They're a little, they're a little more like, Emma would be cool, right? But I feel like I'd have to like get on my knees and like maybe kiss her heel, and I'm not opposed to any of this, right? But it would that would be like a process through Emma, and I feel like the Cuckoos would just be like, oh yeah, we'll fuck Blake up. Well, like we'll send him out in the woods and see what happens.
This is kind of cheating, but you'd probably have pretty good luck with long shot.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's got that Mojo Land connection. You can get some weird shit there.
They do weird shit in Mojo Land.
Yeah.
Where and then like I like also because like everybody was taking like mutant growth hormone for a while. So like Madripoor, like right, like who's got? I guess that would be Emma too. Like Emma's got all the Madripoor connections. So maybe I would be kissing heels at the mansion. Who knows? Put me in there, Marvel. See what happens. I'll take one for the team. This is, I feel like I know like I'm like the indie comic show, but that was fun. We don't get to talk like it's been a while. Like, I haven't interviewed a big two guest in a hot minute. Well, I guess Joe, that's a lie. Joe's here. Joe's big two.
Yeah. You
But
can count
we don't
me.
usually get to talk like Marvel and X. It doesn't usually stumble. And you know, Joe's got action figures and you guys have jackets. And so I'm just like, damn, have you guys noticed how great of a host I am? I want everybody to just stop and just pay attention to how wonderful, how I keep it together. I bounce the questions back, and you know, it's a wonderful experience here at Blake's Buzz Live. We do what we can with what we can, which isn't a lot. But no, that was fun. I still can't believe, I thought those were those Toys R Us figures from when I can't. Have you had those from when, like, because you have the display and everything?
Yeah, no, those are the original from back then. Yeah.
Insane. I wonder what that's like. That's got to be worth a shit ton. Oh my God.
I don't know.
You're like, I'm not
like it. I think that ebbs and flows or whatever. You
Yeah,
drive yourself crazy if you're trying to do that. Like, unless I'm trying to move something, I'm not even gonna bother, because all that does is get weird thoughts in your head, like, oh, maybe I should get rid of this. I'm like, that's not where I'm at. So.
Yeah. I have like a first Miles, what is it, Ultimate Fallout 4, and I have the first Gwen pool too, or Gwen Spider, Spider Gwen, sorry, from the crossover forever ago. But that one I peeled because I used to always use my digital codes, and so I heard CGC will like knock you a little bit for like peeling that sticker.
Really?
That's what I heard. I'm not a grading person though. Like, I don't like it. I think it's silly.
I'm with you. I've only had a couple of things, like nothing I've had that's graded was like I got it graded. They were gifts. But this was a nice, like, you know, I mean, it's one of the best X-Men covers ever.
Whoa.
So,
and is that a 9.4?
9.4.
9.4.
Nice.
9.4.
Okay.
Bring it out.
That's
but
awesome.
I also have this. This is the crown jewel of my collection, a 9.6 Heathcliff #1.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Dude.
Right?
No way. That's
so
which
cool.
if you think about
That's
it,
so
for a
sick.
Star Comics like from the 80s, it's actually kind of crazy that there's a 9.6.
No, that's gnarly. The only thing I think about, like, well, I mean, slabs as gifts would be awesome. I feel like if I had a comic, maybe I would slab it to like display, which that's kind of like, who the fuck am I, right? But it's like, you know, like to like display, like just display my own work. You know, like,
would you sign the cover?
Yeah, why not?
I would too.
Like, pay somebody to watch me sign my own comic.
Oh my God.
No,
Yeah.
I would take my book and I would go and have Jim Lee sign it, and then I would slab it, and it'd be the only one in the world, this copy of my book signed by Jim Lee. And it'd be like, this is worthless. And it's like, it's fucking ridiculous.
That seems good.
Do you all know that Jim Lee is a trained mime?
Really?
No, I did not know that.
There is you could find it. There's video of him talking about it, like on YouTube, that people loaded up, because he mentions it in like an interview he did with Stan Lee, and he talks about how like that helped him with anatomy and getting the muscles right, because so much of miming is like, oh, you're pulling something and all of, so like he would use that to like help him with you know, drawing muscles and how they would look in different ways. So yeah, Jim Lee, trained mime.
That's crazy. Man. I met Neil Adams many years ago, or not many years. It might have been like 7-8 years ago now. But anyway,
blown.
He talked about when he was, because he was one of those they did like the hyper realistic, you know, like the muscles, and like he was one of like that movement of comic artists, and he talked about he would watch figure skaters because of their movements were so different, and when they were kind of gliding and reaching, it like was kind of like superheroes flying or like fighting or diving, and so he would do like, he would watch these figure skaters and kind of replicate a lot of their poses, and I thought that was fucking. I was like talking, and he was like drawing the sketch for me, and I was like mind blown. It was like a crazy experience, and it was so crazy because like I had this really awesome experience with him, and he was so nice to me. I mean, I gave him hundreds of dollars, but he was talking to me before I paid for the sketch too. So that's not a really fair assessment. But like, not many people showed up. He was in Kansas City for a con, and he did this little store signing like before the con, and like, I was like, I was there like it opened, like as soon as he got there, you know, and he like saw me. He was like, dude, if you want to come like talk to me, you can. I was like, cause the event hadn't started yet. So he was really cool. And then when I tell this story, like a lot of people tell me, they're like, dude, Neil, he was a dick when I met him. And I hear all these bad things, and I'm like, not like super bad things. Like he's grumpy at cons, right? Which, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm sure that happens to a lot of people, but whatever. But I've just heard that a lot. Like he's kind of like rude or grumpy or was rude and grumpy. But yeah, I had a really great experience with him. And it was, and like walked away with a ton of art, and he talked like about these prints, and he talked to me about like the poses and the prints. And there's this Batman sketch where like Batman's like reaching, and his fingers, like the hand is like below the body because of the point of view. So it like makes it look like he's reaching, and he was like talking to me about like the dynamics of it. And I was just like, holy shit. And then he kept asking me, he was like, do you want me to like sign this to you? And I kept telling him like, yeah, put it to Blake. And every time I've done that with creators, when I've said like, yeah, sign it to me, they like I feel like they get like more excited because they like, know I'm obviously not going to sell it, you know, but
can you make it out to eBay?
Right.
Yeah, you make it out to user James 9432.
Right.
Like then you got the phone.
Eric, what's up? Eric says to get off your phone, Joe. Yeah, that's that's funny. I think Eric's about to come on the show again soon, because he's about to come back with a really cool horror Why can I cannot remember anybody's books tonight that aren't on this panel? It's not something that's killing the children. Atlantis wasn't built for tourists. I got there, Eric. I got there. It's those long horror titles. It works. Joe, you went with like a shorter horror title, Sink to the Top. You kept it kind of short and sweet. Like what's your thought? I'm curious, everybody here, like what are the thoughts on these long ass comic titles that like the trade dress takes up half the goddamn cover? It makes no, you know, like, but they seem to be kind of popular, and it's a trend that's still going, and it seems to it's in like the horror genre mainly. But what are the guys' thoughts on these real long titles? And it doesn't matter if the story's good. Does the title really matter?
No, it's all like, I mean, I feel like a lot of it goes from some trends, right? Like a title really pops. Like, I feel like when Saga was a big hit, people were really trying to go for like a one name, like just a one word title. And then, you know, it's really because of, what was it? It was James Tynion stuff, right? That really started this. It was Something is Killing the Children, I think, is really what launched that, with people being like, oh, you know, because you do that, Nice House on the Lake. You were getting these like longer titles. Maybe Matt Rosenberg too. I'm trying to think, because I know he did some longer titles too, but I'm trying to think of where sort of the line is for that. But yeah, and then I think some of it is a combination of following trends, or people being like, well, if they can have a long title and I have this title, screw it. I'm gonna go for my long title too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of it is actually having like search engine optimization in mind for that.
I didn't even think of that. Like if it,
you know,
SEO comic title. Oh God, no, we can't leave SEO out of comic titles, Joe. No.
I wonder too, because like with manga and like Japanese light novels, and now it's leaking into anime. I'm sure you've seen some animes with like stupidly long like titles. I can't remember them offhand, but it's like I was reincarnated as a slime, and now I'm exploring the dungeon, and like that whole thing is the anime title. Like I wonder if some of it is inspired by that. Like I don't know.
I wonder if we started or they did. I'm sure they did. They started everything. the
I
manga-
think the light
manga's-
novel thing started first, but I
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
wrong.
No, that is definitely a good point. Yeah.
I like them. I don't not like them. It's just like it's silly to me.
Yeah.
Scotty Young did a horror book that had a real long title. To like a haunted house story. I can't remember the name of it, but it had these like beautiful covers.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That was like it's the logo takes up a lot. And to combat this, Something is Killing the Children, Joe. You have a wraparound cover this time too, but Something's Killing the Children started doing wraparound covers to compensate for this giant ass logo. Side note, Joe has a beautiful wraparound cover on his campaign, which to me, like that really screamed out the vanilla, not the
Vanilla Sky.
the Vanilla Sky vibes. Because it just like that mansion, right? And everyone's wearing the mat, and everyone's laying around, and they're like everyone's fucking on this nice furniture and stuff. You know, it's just like weird and it's like scary and sexy simultaneously. But yeah, that cover just really puts out some awesome energy in it, and I love that the wraparound gave it the room it deserves, because it's good covers tell stories, right? And that's hard. Like it's because everybody says you can't put like word balloons on covers anymore, because it's just, I think they're kind of fun when they do it, but you know, like there's a thought, there's discourse about that now, right? Like it's like we don't do that anymore.
Right.
Would
I
you
feel like
would you
on
do?
covers? It kind of breaks the fourth wall. Like if there's a word bubble on the cover, it's like because you're not in the story, and it's like you see the character talking to you, and it's kind of like lure you in to read their story.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's like that's kind of how I feel. I'm like, I don't really like it. Like, it takes me out of it. Where it's like, I feel the cover's not strong enough, and you need someone to be like, hey, call them over, and it's kind of a crutch.
I think it depends on what.
It's like a heckling. It's like a Eric Palicki heckling cover.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what it is.
He's here heckling. For me as a creator, I don't like long titles, and I want it to look really nice and not take up too much room. So that's just like a selfish thing, like when I make a book or design a book. So I've kept all of our titles to 1, maybe 2 words.
But that adds a lot to logo creation, and which logo creation can be real fucking intense. Like, Laurie, we worked on one not a year ago. Like there was a lot of back and forth on covers on logos, and like
I'm not sorry.
Yeah, well, especially in like, because we're trying to hit that romance comic vibe, it's hard to do, like, it's harder to do that because you don't want to just do cursive, because that's boring and everybody does that. So it's hard to,
and sometimes it's not legible,
right? Or it's not legible, right? So especially in that kind of wheelhouse specifically, it's been hard to design different and cool logos that really get the vibe across. Because I feel like romance has been like pigeonholed into like 2 or 3 different fonts that we're all used to. So I want to try to like mess with that.
And I feel like romance is a tough genre, because you don't necessarily get the bombastic covers, right? You don't get like a team fight cover. You don't get like a big action moment, right? And you also can't like do like the sexy pose cover, but then it turns into like a dime store romance novel, and that's kind of like the nod, right? That's where you're kind of wanting it. You're this thing that used to be so popular that moms used to buy at grocery stores and stuff. But like, but it's better. It's more than, and you want it to be more than that, and you have to like convey this like intimate and intense story in this mood in this cover, then also make it sexy, then maybe also put like patches on it that you can remove and sell for more money, right? So there's a lot of stuff that goes into play, and then logo and the trade dressing, of course, is a big deal on that too. And then if you get all this beautiful art and it takes up a lot of page real estate, which these big titles do, it's something to consider. And yeah, the short punchy titles, they sound good, they make good logos, they block well, you can put it, it just kind of works.
Yeah.
What would you name Sink to the Top if it could be unlimited like would sync? What would be could you think of it like a salacious, verbose, elongated?
If it was a light novel, if it was a Japanese light novel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Sink to the Top is like kind of long enough, and like that's sort of the and it's supposed to be like evocative, right? It's supposed to be like, ooh, like sinking to the, you know, like the implications there. But like, yeah, I would have to, you know, the problem is if I riff on it, I'm gonna end up coming up with a title that's long, but like spoils half the story.
Right.
It's like,
I got you. Don't do
you
that.
know,
Don't,
but
we got to keep those.
but
Keep those
no,
feels
it's
fresh.
yeah, it's something to think about, I guess.
It's probably not. Oh goodness. You know what? You got a few weeks left on this campaign, Joe, and I know you said you kind of more interested in the comic and the story, you know, not so many variants, not a ton of extra bells and whistles, but you got some cool stickers and extra stuff. You got some sneaky releases or like any cool like stretch goals or bonuses if things take off and in the next couple weeks. You got any things planned for your backers?
Yeah, I mean, if we get there's plenty of things that you know, Chase and I you know, want to do. There's, you know, there's maybe the potential for more you know, bonus content. Maybe we'll come up with another short story that we want to do that'll be a digital add-on. Like we'll see where it takes us. You know, but right now, I think it's more to just focus on let's get funded. Let's see how much over we get funded. Let's see what's going on. And you know, I'm trying not to put the cart before the horse on this one. I just want to. I'm trying to be reasonable because, you know, I always you know, feel bad when, you know, you see someone out there and then we got like 7 stretch goals and then they like get to like the second stretch goal. And that's like
yeah.
Right.
And yeah,
you make them like up to 80K and they get to like 15. You're like,
yeah, you know, if you make 100, that, you know, so like I'm like, you know,
I got
but yeah, I mean, but I am not worried about figuring something out if that's a good problem to have.
Yes.
I
Right.
invite good problems. So
Laurie, Eric, you guys, I noticed your stretch goals were a little bit different, and this intrigued me, and I wanted to talk to y'all about it because they are real. They're more goals than just funding goals. I thought that was it's like 300 followers, 300 campaign follows, 30 shares. Like there's some kind of like promotional releases you guys are doing. I have not seen anyone do this before. Where did this thought process come, or have you done this on previous campaigns and it worked out for you? Or
So this is kind of something that it's more of a Backerkit thing than a Kickstarter thing. Backerkit lets you create incentives, like, and they come with a cool progress bar, which is what I really like about it. Because if you don't have that, then nobody cares, right? Because people are like that. But like you can have an incentive for any kind of shares, any kind of follows. They let you make your own, you know, and it's just, I like that idea of not only focusing on the money. So, you know, we have one for number of backers. We have one for, like you said, shares and follows. It just, I feel like it incentivizes people to be more active on the campaign and interact with us more. We even have like unlocks that are based on how many unlocks we have. So like we tried to kind of make it like a game for everyone, so it's more interesting and more interactive, and everyone's
so you keep coming back and you're like, oh, what's happening on the campaign now? And you see like we tease, like, you know, we have surveillance on different parts of the world, and SOS will come in from a certain state or a certain country, and then it's like the video feed is obstructed by some weird anomaly pops, and it's a clue to what mutant it is. And then when we get closer and closer, the feed becomes clear because we have the machine master working on getting everything updated.
Mhm.
And so then it's revealed on who it is, and then the goal is revealed, and it kind of just gets people like excited, talking, gets them debating on what we're gonna find out and who it's gonna be, and you have to like kind of know some like X-Men lore and stuff to catch the clues. There is one that's on there right now that no one has guessed yet, even though the clue is pretty obvious now.
Well, you're all stupid. That's what Eric said. That's what I just heard. You're all a bunch of fucking dummies. I haven't got it either.
So
It's
yeah.
pretty obscure.
It's like
in your defense.
but like at the same time, when you see what the actual clue is, you're like, oh god damn it, and then you feel stupid because it immediately plays in your head, and you're like, shit, I recognize that.
Yeah.
That's cool that I didn't know Backerkit implemented stuff like that for you to use. Cause I know Kickstarter's kind of been reorganizing their back end, right? And putting some junk in the trunk, or however you want to say, whatever the phrase is. But like it's a little bit different now. Their pledge managers, they're kind of like, it seems like they're borrowing from what Backerkit was doing, trying to implement some of that stuff. Cause I feel like they know a lot of people, almost a majority of their users like use Backerkit and them. Right. But so there it's just turning into like a game where they're gonna like Backerkit's gonna just keep putting out cool shit, and Kickstarter is gonna be like a half step behind, but still has the audience kind of. That's kind of what it feels like. But
yeah,
because it is, I feel like it does add some excitement. It adds different ways to engage in the campaign. It's not like everything in crowdfunding is money focused, right? And I know it needs to be. That's the point. But like, eventually it always comes down to you're asking for money, right? And even if they're buying a comic, they're buying a product from you, but you're asking for money. And this is you're asking for a share, you're asking for a like, you're asking for a follow, you're asking for a comment, like it's kind of different. And then just that enhances the campaign and brings new elements forward. Like, I think that's cool. And I thought you guys were just doing it. I didn't know that like the graphics changed based on how many or have like the real active charts. And
there's like an entire plan on a whiteboard that looks just absolutely insane. But at the same time,
that's him. That's not Backerkit.
Like, yeah, that's me. But at the same time, it's running in real time with what's happening on Backerkit. So it's like I have like at certain goals, certain actions have to happen, and then she's got to go in the Backerkit, stop polls, start polls, write copy, update that graphic, update this graphic. It's all this machine, all while I'm just trawling around on the comment section, seeing what people are talking about, seeing what they're asking for, and seeing if anything catches my eye, and be like, okay, well, people are talking about the first family, so sure, I'll make a jacket. Why not? I've never made one before based on that. I never cared enough to do it. I was like, sure, I'll try it, and it ended up being a really strong design. So I like it when they just like throw out these things that I wouldn't normally do, or they're like you can't do it, or it's going to be difficult. It's like, just give me something hard so I can practice more and be challenged.
Yeah,
I want characters that will challenge me.
Yeah, so we just generally, I find with this setup, we get a lot more interaction with the backers and the fans. And like, since the first campaign, like, we've gotten to know a lot of them on a first name basis because they're super excited and they keep commenting and they vote on polls and they get angry when their jacket doesn't win and stuff. And
I get angry when my jackets don't win. I'm in control. I'm like, what are you doing? No, you're wrong.
We do.
Yeah.
We vote. We let people vote on our book club that Cole and I do, and Cole and I'll decide a book, and then everybody picks a book, and then we have them draw like numbers and pick like the top 4. Anyway, but like sometimes there's like a couple books where you're like, God damn it, I don't want to read this, and then like it's like in the running, and you're like no, like someone vote, so like voting's nice sometimes, but yeah, it's then sometimes it's not. But no, I do think that's cool, and it's regardless of whether it's for the book club, people are engaging, right? And that's what you want. That's what the theme tonight was indie comics never stop, and that's one of the things that never stops is you have to keep reminding people that you're out here, and that you have to keep yelling at people to remind them to listen to your voice and to follow you and to get on these new releases, and getting them to like sign up for a newsletter or to follow a campaign. These are big deals, right? So having platforms that trick people into, it's not tricking, right? You're not, but it's that
Tricking.
that use gimmicks to, or like even to get you to engage with it differently, as opposed to just like
100%.
liking something or buying something. I think it's pretty smart.
Yeah, and I would like Kickstarter to implement stuff like this.
Yeah.
Even the polls, they don't have polls. You can do polls. It's easy to program. Come on, guys.
I've often thought they should have, like, on the Kickstarter pages, I wish you could like images, and it would tell you, like, like if you had like a cover and like 85 people liked this one cover image, maybe you'd know to print a couple extra. Just little shit like that. Or like for like the next campaign, like if a whole bunch of people liked a couple tier graphics and a couple of them just definitely didn't seem to interest anybody and no one backed that tier, then you'd kind of know. You could kind of use some stuff like that to see if people like the look of your campaign page and see how they kind of are interacting with your product. Yeah, just little stuff like that would be nice. Joe, back to Kickstarter pages. I had a question, because you're running this from a new account called Blue Coral Comics. This is the first campaign. You got this new logo.
Yep.
What is this? Tell me what this is.
So Chase and I have other ideas we want to do. So we were thinking, what, since we're doing this, campaign, why don't we do it under what the collective is going to be of us doing comics together? And, because if this is successful, we want to do another campaign, maybe not for another like year, maybe we'll just do one, maybe two a year. It'll all depend how everything goes. But, we have other things we want to do. Like we really want to do like another sort of mature horror comic that's more of a like Catholic guilt giallo kind of thing.
Ooh.
So, if we get this done, that's something else we want to do. That would probably be the next thing we do. But we have a few other ideas, but like that works as like another one shot. That one might be a little longer, but we would still want to try to just do it as a one and done and sort of keep that going. So yeah, I mean, that's sort of the direction we want to do it. And we're like, we might as well start putting it under this imprint and doing it that way. And that's how we'll keep all of our, collaborations. And, it also helps to add that separation if we're doing something that's a little more mature and we're doing things together, that can just be under that. And then, other things for me will be under something else.
Cool. Well, I'm excited. I was hoping that was the answer, that there was going to be like more. I didn't know if it was you both together on this or you.
It would be both. It is. Yeah, it's us together. It's stuff we want to do specifically. I mean, again, it's like not wanting to put the cart before the horse or something. Like in a perfect world, we could all be like a Pat Shand where, he's able to, have, other writers and like artists and things like that. Yeah. Full disclosure, I do work with Pat. I wrote a Not Safe for Work short for him, not that long ago. I did a short in the back of, was like Destiny Volume 4.
Oh, cool.
So it's been, for a long time, I met Pat, right. He was doing a signing, I think, when the first trade of his like Zenoscope Robin Hood came out, like over a decade ago. And, we've been friends since then. And I do work with him in like the packing and shipping. So, if you've gotten, like, I've been doing that since like last fall. So if you got, a campaign fulfilled from Pat, shipped to you since like maybe November last year, I might have had my hands on it. So
that's why your comics have Joe's dead skin all over them.
Exactly.
I'm kidding.
No, that's Pat's awesome people, and he works with awesome people. He's got a cool thing going. Yeah, I used to kind of beg and be like, hire me, Pat. But he also like has, I don't think he has many remote people at all working for him. Like everybody's, he's always posting pictures like the crew eating dinner, having pizza, like packing parties and stuff. So like I think
I'm in some of those. Yeah, it's hard to remotely ship packages.
That's true. It makes it tricky.
But yeah.
That's cool. Well, hell yeah, man! I'm stoked for whatever you do. Keep your artists locked down. They are.
Oh yeah.
The pages I've seen are beautiful. What I got to read sounds great. The pitch deck, like, dude, this is a cool thing, and very excited for what you guys do in the future. I know I've kept y'all a while, and I know it's getting late. Real quick, I want to go. I'll just, as always, the links for both of these campaigns are in the YouTube description, and they're on Facebook and everywhere. I'm sure if you follow either of these people, you can find what we're talking about tonight too. Everybody's really good about putting links. I'm going to go around. I want everybody, if you got mailing lists, anything where we can give you money, buy your stuff, follow you, all that good stuff, let us know. Laurie and Eric, let's start with you and Laguna Studios. Tell us where to go.
LagunaStudios.net. You can join our mailing list there. You can buy all of our shit. You can take a look at what we do and what we sell and everything. And then Laguna Studios comics on basically every social media, and on Kickstarter and on Backerkit.
Nice. And Backerkit, by the way, is where the new campaign is.
Backerkit, yes.
The jackets, yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Eric, you got any like a design page or anything?
Yeah, it's the Wolf 138 on Instagram, underscores in between.
We've been tagging him on everything in Laguna Studios comics, so you can. The easiest way to find him is going to be through us.
Yeah, just on that website, and on that page you get early design previews of jackets and stuff, so you'll know what's hitting sooner than anyone else on the campaign will, or what's coming out or what I'm designing next. So that's where everything is if you want to see what's brewing at the Laguna Studios shop.
Awesome. Yeah, everybody should check that out and keep a look at what we're doing at Laguna Studios. And I can say we now because I work there. And we're doing cool stuff. And I'm excited, and it's I'm posting your Instagram in the chat. I haven't told Jessica this because I'm working on a Substack post, but I got the Mary Shelley Volume 2 in the mail, and that was like the last big book I worked on. And like I was like feeling, I was feeling like, is it worth fighting for anymore? Right? I was like, do I go work insurance or see if like one of my families with like a job the family respects can get me a job, and it's like, and I was like, is it time, do we get out of it? And then like I got that fucking book in the mail, and then I got my buddies sent me his Super Guy comic, and I did some consulting and helped him with his Kickstarter page and stuff. And so I got these like 2 books that like I worked on and kind of helped bring to life a little bit. And I was like, I can't fucking do that. I can't and I was like, I can't leave this, and it is worth fighting for. So anyway, love you, Jess. But yeah, it's a real cool feeling. And I'm very stoked to, do the Kickstarter talks with you and Prana, and like still being in, this feels good to still be in. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. That's me and my bullshit. You've all heard that before. Laguna's doing some cool stuff, and I'm proud to be with them. And you should follow them and keep an eye on what we're doing and buy some fucking jackets. Cause I've seen what a lot of you wear, and I've seen what I wear. We all do for an upgrade. So we need to make it better.
Yeah, I've been working on one as we go, so that's one that's going to be coming out soon.
Nice. That looked cosmic and sexy. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be actually an oversized hoodie. So we're going big with this one.
Nice, because your host is an oversized host. Joe, what about you, bud? Mailing list, best place to follow you, keep track of you.
Yeah, what was it? The best places to find me, I'm on like Twitter and Bluesky at Joe Corallo, as it's spelled there, JoeCorallo, and on Instagram at Corallo Joe. The big thing right now, really, where I would want people to focus on is the campaign. You cannot just back the campaign. You can get some add-ons, including backstock of my work, like King Arthur and the Knights of Justice Volumes 1 and 2, Backstar, Dahlia in the Dark, The Never-Ending Party, and DC Pride, A Celebration of Rachel Pollack. So yeah, I'd love to see you check it out and have your support. So,
hell yeah! You've seen some of the art. We showed the page. I'm really excited about it. I encourage you to get out there and support them, because as we've talked about numerous times on this show, it's very hard to make great indie comics when the community doesn't support great indie comics. Okay, so get out there. I'm sure the campaign's very close to funding. I'm sure it's going to fund, but let's get out there so these guys make more stuff. Yes, Eric's got a good point. I think Joe might have paid Eric to do some soliciting here. Eric's trying to sell Joe's books in chat, but they are great. Blake and Cole read a book. There's an old Dahlia in the Dark Blake and Cole read a book episode. We loved it.
Oh, nice.
And then he also Eric says, don't just back, share. And this is a great point that I want to remind everybody, because I'm broke as fuck. Okay, I get it. You can't back everything. You can't support everything, even digitally. Okay, it adds up, and it's hard times, not just for me, for everybody. Sharing is free. Leaving a comment saying, hey, this looks cool, is free. Sharing it with a quote saying, hey, this looks cool, or hey, this is my friend's book, is free. It helps so immensely. It's crazy what this stupid algorithm expects from us to survive, but little things like that really do help. So like, if you can't, I know you can't back every campaign, but hitting that like button, hitting that share button, leaving a comment, you really do help creators more than you think. He says he owes you $5. That's a fair deal. But yeah, anyways, like, share, follow all these people, and yeah, if you do have some money, dive into Joe's backlog. Everything I've read from him, I really loved. Never Ending Story was special. I think it's so cool you got to work with Rachel. She was a very cool human, and I wish she was still around making comics. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. Before I release you all and send you into the stream of existence in your frivolous ways, it was weird.
I like it.
Oh, yeah, anything else you guys want to shout out or say before we say goodnight to everybody?
Read more comics.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Back more indies. Look for the little guys. Sometimes the stories are way better. In fact,
most of the time.
Most of the time. And you're supporting people that actually need it. And it's not just going to who?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No one.
No 60-issue summer crossover events either on Kickstarter. No one's gonna break you. No, yeah, it's, again, I love the big two, but yeah, I love indie. Indie is where all the magic happens. And guess what? A lot of your favorite big two writers started out indie. All right. So like, if you want better stories in the future, like, help these voices find ears that they can scream into. Anyway, we'll be back next week because we're here every Wednesday night at 9. Come back and see me. I'll have awesome guests, more awesome comics to talk about. Love more, hate less. Read books. Take care of each other. Don't be dicks. Back indie comics. I love everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Joe, Laurie, Erica, is great hanging out with you guys. We'll see you next week.
Later.